So a little earlier today, I came across an interesting article by Bleacher Report, sort of breaking down the New York Jets. The Jets are probably one of the teams who could be one of the most likely to land Aaron Rodgers, if he does end up getting traded from the Green Bay Packers. Of course, we still don't know. We'll probably know in the next couple weeks what he decides, retirement, coming back to Green Bay, or being traded. But I want to read this because I think it's sort of interesting. So this is from Zach Rosenblatt of The Athletic. He said this: if Aaron Rodgers does wind up back in Green Bay, the Jets should be viewed as a favorite to land Carr, Rosenblatt reported. His meeting in New Jersey recently with Robert Saleh and others went well, and the Jets view Carr as a quarterback who can get them over the hump and contend in the AFC. In this article, Bleacher Report article continues, Rosenblatt noted the Jets are willing to wait on Rodgers, who promised this week on the Aubrey Marcus podcast to make a decision soon enough, but there is reportedly an expectation the veteran quarterback will either retire or return to the Green Bay Packers. The end of that there, I'm not sure whose expectation it is that he'll either retire or return to Green Bay, because I feel like at this point, pretty much anything you can imagine has sort of been said of what is likely: retirement, coming back, or being traded by the Packers. And I do think, as I've said on this channel, if you guys have been watching for the past couple months, that it does seem like a trade could be pretty possible with the way that Brian Gutekunst has talked. His hasn't been super, consistent on saying he 100% wants Rodgers back, but it seems like that is a possibility. But just the way that things are going, to me, it seems like Jordan Love coming in starting this year could be very likely if Rodgers and Brian Gutekunst aren't on the same page when it comes to building this team. But it is interesting that the Jets are, at least from this report by Rosenblatt of The Athletic, the Jets do seem to be waiting for Aaron Rodgers' decision. And I would assume there are many teams in the NFL right now who are probably waiting to see what Rodgers decides. And then once he makes his decision, whether he stays, whether he gets traded, then other teams who maybe are waiting to see if they could land Rodgers will probably start to move to their next option. And who knows if the Jets' top option is Rodgers? Maybe it is. It probably, of course, also depends on the draft capital they would have to send away to get Rodgers. But when you look at a guy like a Derek Carr, because he is a free agent, the Jets could sign him without having to, trade capital for him, as opposed to if the Jets wanted Rodgers, of course, they would have to trade draft capital. So in that sense, it's a little cheaper to get Carr, but he's not Aaron Rodgers. I still think he's a somewhat solid quarterback, but I think that your team's going to be much better with Rodgers leading it. And I know that last year Rodgers didn't have his best statistical year, but you throw in Devontae not being there, you throw in all the injuries he battled all season long. I see no reason why Rodgers can't be, top 10 quarterback in 2023. So if I were the Jets and I had to pick between Rodgers or Carr, I would 100% go with Rodgers. But as I said, maybe they'd rather, not have to give up draft capital, use that draft capital, build their team up more, and then also get a guy like a Derek Carr. But it is interesting. The Jets are waiting, it seems, for Rodgers to make his decision. And I just wanted to come in here, share that quick little update real fast. But that's all I have for this video. If you guys would like to stay up to date with all Packers news, that's what this channel is for. All things Packers, pretty much nothing else. So feel free to subscribe, drop a like on the video, and I'll see you guys next time.